Alright gang, we're starting a little bit early today because we have a guest aircraft that I have never live streamed. I've got it all over my page, but I've never live streamed it before. And that is this bad boy right here. That is the 777X. And we're going to catch this sucker on takeoff. I would have caught it when it was going past us, but technical difficulties, I guess we'll call it that. So welcome in to Geaux Flying. Super excited that everybody's here or going to be coming in. I know I'm early, and I apologize for that, sort of, but man, we definitely got to get this. So that's a 777X. This one is painted in the Boeing livery. And it's rare you get a chance to see this stream live. So I figured let's do it. Let's get it online. So here we are. Welcome in. And it sounds like they're going to be departing out of here real quick, which is what we want. See if we can catch those winglets coming down. We are live at Boeing Field. We are here to catch the Blue Angels do their morning practice run. There's a little pop-up last-minute decision on by myself to do this. So welcome in. Come on, let's do it. Let's get some things situated here. All right. Lots going on today. So this is actually headed out to Moses Lake, which is where they do most of the flight testing for the 777X. And what I've noticed is because today is because the Blue Angels are going to be taking off out of here in about an hour, about 50 minutes or so. And I'll pan over to them briefly. They're kind of a distant out there, but yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna turn down our outdoor ambient audio. There we go. It's a little bit better, so you can hear me. I don't need to be shouting. But there are a lot of people out here just to catch. I don't know. I mean, I knew that the test flight was going to be happening because that's usually when the fire trucks roll. And they were rolling about maybe 20 minutes ago. They are down at the end of the runway, and so these guys are going to get up on out of here before the Blue Angels depart because they want to get their flight testing in. And once the Blue Angels take off, it's kind of a no-fly zone around here for a little bit. So, but there it is. Winglets are still up. Of course, we've got our biz jets here. Somewhere around here, there it is. And you can see, there they are. Or there they are, right there. See, they're over there. We'll see them soon enough. They had a brunch this morning with the Civil Air Patrol folks, and they're gearing up. They're supposed to get out of here in 50 minutes. So let's go back around, just pan slowly. Notice we've got, they moved the MD-11. That used to be parked way over on the UPS terminal. It is now there. Just kind of take a brief look while we're waiting for the 777X to get going. We've got there's a C-130 there and an unmarked government aircraft. I think I know what that's for. And then right over here, I've not seen this aircraft before. Right there. Freedom plane. What's that about? It's got some interesting right there on the nose. Got a little wart on the nose there. Not sure what that's about. I'm going to have to do some research on that. But the Freedom plane is here. So we're expecting lots more to be here. We've got a Coast Guard helicopter. They're going to be doing a flight demonstration this weekend for the annual Seafair celebration. So they're here. The corporate jets are trying to get out of here. If they have a time slot, they're trying to get out now before the Blue Angels take off. So I've noticed a lot of activity around that. But let's go back to the 777X, which is hanging out right at the end of the runway. This is runway 32 left. This is the long runway at Boeing Field. And there they go. And those winglets should start coming down there. Yep, there they go. Boom, they're down.
Runway 32 left only with takeoff.
So this is the first time I've live streamed the 777X. And you'll be probably pretty surprised at how quiet this plane is when it takes off.
Okay, 729, traffic departing runway 32 left, heading 777, talking away turbos. Base your discretion, runway 32 left, clear to landing. Runway 32 left, clear to landing. Ring the sky,
Big bird. There she goes, off to Moses Lake for some flight tests. You see, it was quiet aircraft. Yesterday I was out at Seattle International with their new... Oh, his gear just came back out. What's going on here?
Boeing 001 Heavy, contact Seattle departure. What departure is on?
Huh. What's going on with that? There they go. Back up in. So yeah, I was at Seattle International yesterday, and it was remarkable how loud the older generation engines. When I say older generation, I mean 10 years old. How much louder they are. And I mentioned this on a lot of the streams that I do, but it's just so remarkable the difference between, say, the A330 and the A350. So he's gone. And we got some corporate jets hanging out here. And there's Boeing Tower. And the Seattle skyline off in the distance there. And then, of course, the stars of the show. Where are they? There they are. Right there. Blue Angels. So they came in yesterday, did a little flyby right over Boeing Field. As I was heading down to Seattle, they went right over the car. That was pretty cool. And now they're going to be heading out for their, they do an 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. practice today. So we're going to be able to catch the takeoffs and the taxi, the drive-bys, that kind of stuff, and then of course the landings. I don't know how much of the actual action we can capture because the lens itself, and those planes, they're tiny. You know, when they get out in the distance, they're pretty low profile, so you don't see them very well. But that's okay. I mean, we'll get the meat of it. But they'll be suiting up and heading out pretty soon here. A lot of activity at Boeing Field since I've arrived here today, and I'm sure it's because of the Blue Angels being in town, but also because of the Seafair air show and hydroplane races that they've got going on this weekend. So this is just a practice day. This is literally just me coming out because they said they were going to practice, and I'm like, okay, cool, it's cool. Let's go catch them. It's my day, another day off. Let's go take a look. And so we're waiting on them. We got a Cessna in the way. But we are on the west side of the field. We are in the non-movement area of the airport. That means this is not controlled really by the control tower. This is maintained by ops. Matter of fact, we can, if we want to, we could, if we wanted to, where is it? Walk right out to that line. Although I'm sure I would get a talking to, so I'm not even going to try. But this means we have really full access to pretty much everything that's going on here. So, of course, Boeing Field is a general aviation airport. It's a mixed-use airport. You get a lot of general aviation here. Biz jets. If you've watched my streams in the past, you'll see them. See the biz jets. We've got the Exodus stream that I did back when we had the World Cup match for the final U.S. men's team. That's a thank you for that. Well, somebody's got to clean the FOD off the ramp. But yeah, there's just a ton of biz jets here, and a lot of them have decided to depart early before they have an issue with getting out of here. So you can see we've got that guy right there, this one here, and then this one here. And let's pull up our flight radar here and see what we got. That's a Global 7500. And it's departing from not available, which I think is hilarious. And it's going to not available, which I also think is kind of funny. These flights that have VIPs and people who don't want other people to know of their comings and goings, they will often not publish where they're headed, even though it's out there somewhere. It's not published publicly. So here goes that 7500.
Number 998 Bravo Light Boeing Tower, waiting for 30 at 4,
and there they go. Up, up, and away. To not available. I think that's funny. It's a little bit of a hazy day, at least where the sun is. I might kind of spin around here, so you'll have to forgive me with I'm going to try to do this so I don't get you guys too motion sick. But Mount Rainier is off in the distance there. You can kind of see it. It's a bit on the hazy side, like I said. But it's there. Another flight. This is a Hawker 900 XP that is going to be departing. Again, unpublished. There they are. We have a Hawker and then a, let's see, a Citation XLS. Thanks for joining in. It is Geaux Flying. Welcome to the channel. And when I say we, I mean all of us, everybody that's watching. Let's see. So we've got one of our flights that's going to be departing, and we're just going to keep an eye on this as some of these guys are departing before the show starts. We've got a lot of activity on the ramp right now. Matter of fact, that Coast Guard Sikorsky is, where are they? There they are. They're getting going. And let us see. I gotta turn off my notifications, otherwise we're gonna hear that stuff. I'm gonna just do that for now. Oh, come on. Stop talking, people.
Helicopter 112 with 5 traveling tower, spot 8, quick takeoff, make left traffic, spot 8, clear to land, contact signal speed department officer here momentarily.
There we go.
0 Tango X-ray, runway 22 up south 8.
And we'll do that. We're gonna turn off.
Hey, Bravo, Mike, stay parked.
Is there a way that we can turn those off?
Right at Alpha 5, cross runway 32
Yes,
right,
I will set it to do not disturb mode.
32 right.
There we go.
Sorry, turn right at Alpha 3, excuse me. Turn right at Alpha 3, cross runway 32 right, and then contact ground point.
That's better. All right, here. Taking the active here. This is the Hawker 900.
Bullseye 6242 Zulu Boeing Tower. That's approved. Just maintain that 1,000. I've got traffic coming in behind you, and they're going to be over the shoreline to overfly your 1,600.
Kind of got the sun right in our eyes, which is not ideal, but it is what it is.
Centurion 5 Delta Golf, one able to squawk VFR. Okay, more 1818, follow the Centurion ahead, runway 32 right, clear to land. 32 right, clear to land. Up 0 Tango X-ray helicopter, up 1 be a left turnout, traffic on base will be to the parallel, wind 1203, runway 22 left off 8, for the takeoff. Okay, more 3232.
Yeah, it is going to be a fun couple of days here. I'm really looking forward to it. I unfortunately have to work tomorrow. Got to pay for this fancy camera equipment somehow, But I will be back on Saturday for Saturday's Blue Angel show, and to the extent that I can, I will also be streaming other activity going on in the field. I have a commitment from 2 to 3, unfortunately, on Saturday that I cannot miss. But the show for the Blue Angels doesn't start until 3:30, and so I will get it. I definitely will be around for that. There's our Freedom plane. Well, that's good. Seattle flights. Have fun with that. As I mentioned earlier, they've moved. I don't know when they moved it because it's been a minute since I've been to Boeing Field. But they moved the MD-11 that's been parked here since last November. That is sitting there on the ramp and covered up. You can see on the engine nacelles, you can see a little red cover there. Those are covered up, and they have been that way for 8 months, 9 months now. Of course, we get a little helicopter action.
I guess it's traffic inside, there's no tractor down past, full flight support. Centurion 5 Delta Golf, right turn to Dan, ground point 92. For 3232, you can begin that descent, exit help number 2, following company, right base, and final.
There is a helicopter facility on the west side of the field where I am. So that is a landing, and then they're getting a taxi, quote unquote taxi. Just like that. And over to the parking. So there's a tower off in the distance there. And next up, I believe, is our citation. I believe so. There's a Falcon that's somewhere that's coming down the line. But let's go ahead and get this. There they are.
That was for,
so like I said, it's pretty busy here. I was going to start a lot later, But when the 777X rolled past, I kind of couldn't miss that, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So if you missed that part, if you tuned in a little late, you can rewind now or later. There's a 777X. It literally went right past me here, and my Wi-Fi wasn't working, so I couldn't go live. But I caught it on the takeoff roll, which was just as good anyway. So we'll beach 19 there. So next up is NetJets is an Embraer, is a Phenom 300 that is over here. There they are. Way over there. Come on, there it is. Waiting on them.
Copy that. That citation's well above you now. You can make that turn at your discretion.
No, you know what? Seattle flights. I actually went to Seattle International, and I went up to the observation deck and was just seeing what's up there. And it's a great view. Personally, it's a horrible place for live streaming, in my opinion, because of the glare. The reflections on the glass are just awful. If you go in the latter half of the day when the sun is starting to come into that room, it just reflects everywhere. And I got some good shots, and it really is a good place to catch like the 3-4 right arrivals, and even 3-4 left you can catch. But that glass, they've got a screen on that glass too. It's like a tint, so it messes with my camera optics as well. So yeah, I'm not a fan. I think I'm gonna continue to stream from outside. I just don't like having to go through security. I don't like having to deal with other people. It's just and then of course the parking is ridiculous. It's just so expensive. So I am. That's not going to be a spot for me unless I can see something. You know, if I go in the morning, I think the morning would probably be a little bit better. But I got to go test that. So, yeah. Okay, so that NetJets. Oh yeah, that's King Air 350. Nice. All right. There they go. Little Phenom there.
One more arrival to that runway. If you're in a hurry, let me know. I'll extend them and get you out of here if you're not on the plus plan.
There they go.
Yep.
I wonder where they're headed to. Did they have... They should... This is NetJets, so they should... Oh, it says not available. I don't get it. Whatever. Let's see where our beach... King Air is going. Oh, Van Nuys.
The shoreline of western shoreline.
And that is going to be...
on your way in, if that's easier for you.
All right. Where are they? There they are.
Contact Delta departure. Have a good flight. Good morning.
No, I didn't know you were streaming the Blue Angels yesterday. I was driving when they passed over Boeing Field. That was cool. You know, the diamond formation. It was kind of cool. I'm looking forward to the practice today, though. I mean, they've got a 2-hour practice this morning. They've got an hour and a half practice this afternoon. And then they go live, I guess, tomorrow. There's a lot of people out here. A lot of ops people hanging out. It's very interesting, actually, the amount of activity on the field, which is not normal. I mean, it can be, but not normal usually. You don't see that. All right, so this is a little King Air. I'd love one of these planes. These are cool planes.
Traffic over UW 1100 indicated southeastbound. They're at your 2 o'clock and 2 miles. I believe it's a float plane 1100 indicated.
And away they go.
10 more 3s, turn right at the end and contact ground point there. See ya.
Okay. while we're waiting on the Blue Angels, we're just going to kind of keep seeing what's on the BizJet front here.
Here, 8 Delta Romeo, contact tail departure, have a good flight.
Boeing Field to Seattle International. That's a short flight. This is a G450. Who knows what they're doing, why they're doing it. Repositioning, probably for a client. There is a, I think it's Signature Aviation that is at Seattle International on the south end of the airport, and so they might be, you know, heading over there to pick up a customer.
Boeing Field, down to 967, Julie Bravo. Filter 6587, thanks for the help.
Yeah, the handprints are, that was a major drag too. You know, it's like, look, I get it. Kids touch the windows and everything like that. My kids like to put their hands, well, not anymore. They're mostly grown, but yeah, I mean, I get it. But yeah, they don't clean it, and the glare. They should have painted the interior of that room something that didn't reflect right back onto that that glazing that they put up. So. Yeah, and it really depends on where you stand. And man, it is a freaking oven in there too. It's when the sun hits in there, it is an oven. Okay, our Coast Guard Sikorsky is taxiing right now.
Here, contact tail departure. Good flight.
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is a Eurocopter. This isn't a Sikorsky. This is a Dolphin. Yeah, and the thing with SeaTac too, I was there for 2.5 hours and parking was $24. I'm like, it's not worth it. All right, there they go. Right in front of the Freedom plane.
6587, that's all approved. The dual taxiway Alpha cleared to take off. Traffic entering the right downwind. They're presently over the I-90 bridge. If you're not familiar with that, let me know. It's a sundowner, 1,500 indicated. Sundown 12 November, helicopter traffic lifting. They'll be north.
All right, bye-bye. At least it's a clear sky, so when I pan back, you don't get the motion sickness as much. It is a beautiful day here in Seattle. This time of year is often the time that people will say, "Hey, this isn't such a bad town. This not rain," and then they move here, and then winter hits, and they don't last much longer after that. I'm surprised I've lasted as long as I have, but they have.
Coast Guard helicopter, they're turning to the right now, so it's also not factored.
So again, this is a Gulfstream 450.
A little more to the left, reference on traffic entering the downwind. If you could just fly for the stadium for just a moment.
Testing out a new lens today, just kind of seeing how it does.
Appreciate that. And that traffic, once you get pointed at the stadiums, they'll be ahead and to your right 1 mile, entering the downwind 1,200 indicated sundowner. Sundowner 12 November, constantly turbulence, departing G4, runway 32 left.
Yeah, I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to. It was really easy for me to walk from the parking lot. It just hurt my wallet a little bit. But you know what? I was all in the name of testing out this lens, so. Off to Seattle International, all of 5 miles from here. I think something like that. 5 miles as the crow flies, maybe not even that far. But you're looking at the skyline of downtown Seattle.
6587, I think it's erroneous.
That tall building used to be the tallest building on the West Coast. It's no longer. That's Columbia Tower.
I think it's erroneous. I
think it's still called Columbia Tower.
Okay, Roger. 6587, we'll keep an eye out. Thank you for the heads up.
Yeah. Trucker Norm, how's it going, bud? Glad you could tune in this last-minute little stream of ours to catch these guys doing practice in short order. You can tell it's a little bit on the warm side, warm for
411 takeoff.
This time, you know, or warm for Seattle. Let's put it that way. It's it's 64 right now. What am I talking about? It's not.
1 Tango Alpha caution clearance to depart at 4 Alpha departure is approved. Winds 210.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
To full length clear for takeoff. Traffic approaching the right base for your runways at Sundowner.
Let me check something real quick here. Oh, that's why. That's why. I didn't want that. Okay. Sorry, I'm just doing some nerd tech stuff here. Just realized that I had 2 microphones
Which way you headed now?
picking up my voice, and I did not want. I am doing well. This is my second day off in a row, which is, I know for people that's normally called a weekend, but working in the business I do, I don't often have 2 days off in a row. And so it's nice to have this. I'll work tomorrow, and then I'll be back on Saturday for the actual show, which is I'm excited about. It's going to be, I'm hoping it's going to be a good show. It seems like it always is. And the one thing that's really nice about doing this from Boeing Field, as we get a Boeing milk truck going right past us, is that you get to capture stuff that you wouldn't normally see at Seafair. Meaning, the main viewing area is literally it's over this ridge line here. It's over on the other side of this ridge line, and that is show center, stage center. So we don't see a lot of the show. We'll see the planes. We'll see the Blue Angels pop up when they get up to altitude. We'll definitely see them, and they buzz around here quite a bit actually, but it's not as engaging as the watching it where the show center is. But you get to see things that people who are over at the show in front of the lake cannot see. So that part of it's kind of cool, especially the takeoff and the when they come in for landing. It is really cool to see them. They'll fly right over the runway and just peel off one at a time, circle back to land. And so we'll get all that. We might get that today. I'm not really sure. What's up, Alex? I'm not really sure if we're going to, if they're going to do that today. I'm not sure if they're trying to do like a full show today, or they're going to do a part show and then do the full show later on this afternoon. I have no idea. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, 96. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was warm. I mean, come on. I grew up in Louisiana, so this is not hot for me. But you can, I mean, just like if we go across, just over to the MD-11 here, and I'll zoom in. I mean, you can see the heat wave, I guess you want to call it that. And if you go out over where the Blue Angels are, right over here, you can definitely see it. So it looks hotter than it actually is. The winds are out of the, almost out of the west. They're at 2504 knots, so they're not very strong right now. And they're going to keep it on a north flow. Either way, we're going to get really good shots of the Blue Angels, so I'm not worried about that part. Let's see, what we got any other activity? Or they start? Oh, there goes our unmarked government airplane. Right there. I think it has a reason for being unmarked. But they park frequently right across the way. They don't stick around long. And then they go somewhere to destinations unknown. Although I can take a pretty good guess where they're headed.
Do me a favor, extend the downwind. I'll call your base. Under that, 2 spots.
Okay, they're crossing the field. I wonder where... Are they changing runways up on us? Are they changing the flow? I don't think so.
3 Bravo November, Boeing Tower. You're on frequency, traffic head to half mile northbound, 1300 indicated. Helicopter 2 Whiskey Fox.
Let's see if this dude turns right.
Just stay behind him.
Okay, I read base turn clear.
They may be taking off on the left side, so they may come right past. Yep, that's what they're doing. They're going right past it. The taxiway down to the left side, the left runway, is not it's not wide enough for even the narrow body like 737 here.
Sorry about that. There's a little confusion on my part. Can you fly up towards like the tower via marginal way, and I'll have to come in behind the 10-3.
We'll just head up to the north end of the field here and turn back around.
Yeah, you can do that if you like, or just whenever you get north of that taxiing 1037, then you can offset over to taxiway Bravo.
And we're going to have an ARF truck get right in the way here.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you for that.
There's 223 Bravo Mike, system carried out to the back on arrival, Oscar, President Model. There's 223 Bravo Mike, going to fly the back on arrival, report turning downwind.
There's an 80s rap song that comes to mind when I see this plane. The way they go. So we'll head down to the departure end of 32 left and get up on out of here. And I believe that's a 737. I think it's a 900. 800. And you can see here we got 1, 2. And our helicopter's around here somewhere. Where are you booger? It's literally right there. It is. So they're back. And here's an arrival. And again, there's the Blue Angels out over yonder. They should be gearing up to go pretty soon here. Yeah, that's what I figured. Any old time. I think they have some special passengers. Okay. So let's take a look and see what we got coming up here. The flight's going to be taking off pretty soon, so we'll catch them. Hey, Alex, you can rewind to the beginning. I caught the 777X taking off earlier today.
And I apologize, I didn't write it down. Can you give me your parking spot one more time? We're going to modern, we'll follow the team here. Number 2, clear to land.
My watch just warned me that it's a loud environment. Thank you.
A lot of 0.
You don't
Mike,
say.
thanks for that. We'll contact the airport. Have a good flight.
There they are. Yeah, man, they went right past me. They taxied right past me, and I didn't get that because my Wi-Fi hotspot was being a pain, and so I missed the. I mean, I recorded it. I have it, but I wasn't able to get the stream live in time. But yeah, it's there.
Yes, it's 360. Boeing Tower, I do have your release. We're just waiting on one more arrival.
All right, so we do have an arrival here. The Beechcraft King Air. Is that MD-11? And we see if we've got any other aircraft on arrival.
And minimal delay off the runway, please. That Spirit is on a half.
I don't see any.
And cross runway 328, contact ground point 9.
So that 737 should get up on out here pretty soon here. Of course, we got Mount Rainier off in the distance, sorta. Kind of hard to see. We do have that. Let me see if I can tamp this down a little bit. That's a little too dark, huh? Yeah. But it's out there. Just playing hide and go seek today.
367, runway 32 left full length. Line up and wait.
All right, so they told him line up and wait.
Here's 3 Bravo Mike. You can take the up 8 or 7, your choice. Turn right there. Contact ground point 9er, and it looks like you'll be taking 7. Just use
there we go.
For the southbound
that's a little more better.
Alpha. You'll see him as you start your turn. If it's easy for you to go behind the can.
Yeah, it did. It took off very quick, and it's, you know, it's really quiet too. It's for being the largest engines that GE. I mean, technically the GE90 has more output than the GE9X, but still, it's amazing. It can lift a bird that's heavier, longer than the 777. The current 777s is just amazing.
Yes, it's 367, wind is 2503, runway 32 left full length. Clear to take off.
There they go. It must have been full of something. Gas, people, both. I don't know. There they go. See you later.
This is 367. Contact Del Park. Great.
Well, now we got a better shot of that. The C-130 across the way here for Seafair, I'm pretty certain. It's good to see them here. We should be seeing, I mean, I don't know if they're arriving today or not, but we get some solo fighters here. I think we have an F-22 coming. I have to look at the Seafair schedule, but I think we have an F-22. Yeah, I need to look at the schedule again. I'm sorry. I did my show prep for Saturday, not for today, so I don't know what's coming in today. It's a complete unknown for me. All I know is that these guys right here should be getting ready soon.
Boeing Tower, 367 Delta Alpha, visual approach 32 left.
Clear 367 Delta Alpha, Boeing Tower, wind is calm, runway 32 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 367 Delta.
So we'll just keep it going. Let's see here. Technically, they are supposed to be firing up and getting going here in the next 10 minutes. So fingers crossed that I mean, this is the military. They should stick to schedule, but today is also practice day. So if they have any last minute things that they need to do, maybe that's why they've given themselves a little bit wider window for today in the morning than they did for the afternoon. We will see. We will definitely see. Okay, thank you. I almost need to be on like a elevated platform to not have these trucks just go right in front of me. But that all the movement, all the activity on the field generally means that there is something to follow pretty soon. So the aircraft you hear flying above, well, you don't know that it's above, but the aircraft noise that you're hearing right now, that's all coming from Seattle International. They're right up the road, so to speak. And they are, what? I would say that they put 3 to 5 miles, somewhere around there. But it's Seattle, so it takes like 30 minutes to get there. Thursday, we're second to last day of July. I can't believe it. Cannot believe it. Trucker Norm, I will likely. Oh, that's a Hawaiian 350 going. That's a 330. The show starts at 3:30. Now, I kind of pigeonholed myself a little bit with another commitment for live streaming for something else from 2 to 3 Pacific time. So I will go live as soon as that is done, and I'm guessing it'll be done right around 3 o'clock, which actually works out perfectly. I will have my camera with me, and I'm trying to figure out if maybe I can at least capture some stuff that maybe is not part of the Blue Angels show, and be able to play that back later on during the live stream. I just don't know if I need to focus on one thing at a time, and if I multitask, I end up screwing something up. So I'm trying to do that. So yeah, 3:30 is the 3:30 Pacific is when the Blue Angels will be flying on Saturday and Sunday, for that matter. I will not be here on Sunday. So you'll see us go live. If you haven't turned on, like I've already published the stream, so if you want to go into that and then turn on the notifications for that, you'll get a pop-up notification just saying that, hey, Geaux Flying is live, and you can tune in. Last year was pretty rad because the way that they were doing some construction here on the field, and the way that the construction was being done, the Blue Angels had to taxi right past us. So if you look back at last year's live stream, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. They went, I mean, this taxiway that's kind of right here, right in front of us here, because you've got a taxiway here, a runway here, another runway past that, and another taxiway past that. They were right here. It was awesome. I don't think they're going to be doing that this year. I think they're going to go right down the east side of the field, and then we'll catch them on the landing, the takeoff, and then the landing a little bit later. That's the plan, at least. Anything can change. The weather can change. I have not actually. That's probably a good idea. I should probably look at the forecast, huh? Let's see what the forecast is going to be for Saturday. Oh, they're saying cloudy with rain. You got to be kidding me. So tomorrow's sunny, 82. Tomorrow, let me look at Saturday. Let's go to precipitation. So there's supposed to be precip right when the show is happening, right around 1 o'clock. And we got some tractors going by here. These guys have gone by like 3 times. I guess they're trying. Oh, they just started. They just started up. I just noticed the smoke there. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how Saturday goes. That would really stink, but at the same time, it wouldn't be the first time. That also means that they would be doing. If it's low overcast, they'll do a low show, which may or may not be to our advantage. I'm not really sure. We'll see. And you know what? I don't trust the weather forecasts more than really 12 hours out.
Your way in, I'll let you know what I can do as soon as I'm ready.
7-4 Golf making our way in.
7-4 Golf. I may have to turn you around. I'm just waiting on approval from.
So they have started up, which means they're going to be going pretty soon here. I can't really tell from this distance, but it appears the canopies are down. We're going to find out real quick. So it looks like they're getting ready to roll. That's good. On time.
For golf, all the senior officials just are denying entry. So go ahead and
the other thing that is potentially, well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to think of whether or not they're gonna
remain clear of the Delta, though, please.
Today, I don't know what the practice is going to look like. We'll find out. We'll find out. This is the best part about it. It is completely impromptu. So if we see something cool, we'll see something cool. If we don't, we don't. And looks like we got something on the move over there. Let's take a look.
Thank you.
Yep, they are on the move. Number one's on the move. Here we go. There's two. Look at that, on time. They're taxiing out. They're going to do it 11 a.m. Well, at least they're going to try. 11 a.m. departure.
SF-74 Golf, is there anything I can do for you? Try to get you around over to Renton, or what would you like to do?
They're basically saying, hey, get in, or you're going somewhere else.
Yeah, let's go to Renton, please.
All right, so here they go.
You're going to have to be south down to Renton. So if you like, you can contact Dell Departure.
I'm guessing the TFR for this area is either active now or will be active momentarily. TFR being temporary flight restriction.
Yeah, sorry about all that. Just barely missed it.
Morning, should be on the ground there in about 12 minutes, and just the crew on board today, but we'll plan on most likely putting on the 300 gallons whenever we get there.
So, something they did last year, I'm not sure if they're going to do it this year, they may not do it today, is you will hear, on this tower frequency, you'll hear the Blue Angels talk. They will broadcast simultaneously on, well, they did last year. I'm not saying they're going to do it now, on both military frequency and civilian frequency. So we'll see. Here's the number one taking the lead.
That's third time I asked you to hear about that. 52 Charlie, keep the speed up down to Alpha 8, taxi straight into Center to south
sorry,
with me.
went a little faster. It's like he's trying to get out of here. Get out of the way. It's not every day that you're trying to accommodate an F-18 Super Hornet and you're in a Bonanza.
Yeah, whatever they said, let's consider it firm for 1 o'clock.
I wonder if he's trying to take off. So here they are. So zoom out a little bit here. Catch the team. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like 3 and 4. I don't know if 5 and 6 are going to be doing something different. Oh, there we go. Oh boy, they're going to taxi right past this gang. I'm glad if you tuned in, you are getting a treat today. They're doing it again. It is loud. And they have a chaser. These guys are going to get up on out of here, I mean, almost to the minute. And I've noticed the SeaTac traffic has completely stopped. All right, so we're going to wait for them to get up on out of here. That was a treat to be able to have them come right past us like that.
Takeoff.
Not something that everybody gets a chance to experience. And people are starting to come out. Take a look. All right. Okay, bro, get out of the shot. Come on, man. He doesn't care about me. All right, well. All right, y'all ready? Oh, come on, get out of the way. There we go.
Spotting clear. Going to 1, understood. Airport vehicle, calling tower again. Forward, stand by.
God. What is it with these guys? I know. It's like, come on, man. They literally look at these. Look at these guys. Look at this. Seriously? You're on camera. You're live stream around the world. You guys got in the shot. Oh well. Anyway, there they go. So next step is to keep an eye on them and figure out where they will be. I do not have, they're not on flight radar, of course. So we're just going to have to kind of keep an eye on the little gnats in the sky. And I will do that. I can see them off in the distance there. They are. There they are.
44 approved is request cross MDT right at Alpha 3, and you can just turn in my.
And here's our
I got everything.
Dang forklifts. I don't want to focus on forklifts. Come on, man. Can you please get on the shot? This show brought to you by Heister, whatever.
You need a frequency, sir? Understandable, pass along.
Okay, so there you are. There's the focus is not going to cooperate, so we'll just hang tight. We'll find them. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Hang tight. He's had my first gun in a shot. There's another one.
Like, the call's been made. They're working on it right now.
Okay. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, that was good until the forklifts got in the way. You know what? I might just walk out as far as those guys are because I'm not putting up with this. The camera might get a little wobbly all of a sudden because of this. Could they go somewhere else? Really?
They do have UHF pulled up. We're troubleshooting right now.
Okay, so I'm just going to keep an eye out for these guys. I don't know what their plan is. But, yeah, we're going to just keep an eye out for them. And we'll catch them. I'm sure we'll catch them as they come around. Because they got my shot. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be a little bit wobbly, but I'm not going to let them ruin my shots. I am going to move my equipment. So hang tight. Might get a little wobbly here. I'm going to lock everything down as best as I can so that we don't get weirdness. And we will relocate the cameras so that they are not in my way anymore. There we go. That's better. That was not cool. Okay, hang tight. I gotta go grab my other equipment that I left behind. I will be right back. Let's get our focus back here. There we go.
Great. Forward. You're Romeo Boeing Tower frequency. Or 8408 Romeo Boeing Tower. Going to one flight, Boeing Tower, request updated position.
All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry, I just wanted to relocate things. So now those guys, those wonderful individuals right there, won't screw up our shots anymore. So, okay. Let's take a look. You guys had some questions I saw here. Are there flight restrictions when the Blue Angels fly? For everyone else, yes. There is a temporary flight restrictions. Matter of fact, I see no commercial aircraft in the sky right here at the moment. You can look up TFRs in. You just go look up TFRs in Seattle on Google or something like that. You'll find whatever's published.
2012 November Boeing ground.
Yeah. You know what, Alex, you're right. We dragged Tracon the other night when we were streaming, and they said, "Okay, that's what you get." I don't know why they thought it was cool to do that, though. Let's see here.
798-668 from everything shut down till 1 p.m. per the.
Let's see. Max altitude they can fly during these air shows. You know what? If you look at the TFR Seattle flights, it'll show you what the max altitude is for the TFR. And I would say that whatever that max altitude is, that's their ceiling for the show. They go, I mean, from a person standing on the ground, they go really high on a day like today. So it could be. Well, we're just going to aim it over here. I don't want to listen to forklift noise. I don't know if they necessarily will go the full extent of it, but I can hear them now. But they will. They create a sizable volume around State Center. Here we go. We got some action. I gotta unlock my camera now. There they go. Come on. This is the only problem with zooming in. Well, they left some smoke here. they're there, but they're like little tiny flies in the sky at the moment where they're doing their show. Yeah, Alex, it could be 18. You know, the ceiling for or the start of IFR. Yes, that's probably where it is. Yeah, oh, you're on ADSB exchange. Okay, yeah, they're out there. It's interesting because flight radar is like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. What F-18s? I don't know. So it does look, yeah, it does look like they definitely do have landing traffic. They got departing traffic on 3-4 right at SeaTac right now, as you can see here. So they are definitely there. There's movement on the field, but there's also a little bit of a backup. So I'm not really sure if they're I've just got a -8 going out here. Look at that. Heading up to Vancouver. Good luck with that, man. If it's raining, then, well, it's canceled. That is what it is. And that's why I'm glad I came today. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. So I'm not really sure. Like I said last year, they had them on tower frequency. So, oh, here we go. Let's see. There they are. Sorta. Just a bit. We don't need it popping like that. That's better. We don't need. That's just okay. That is better. Let's stop recording here. So just keep an eye on them. But yeah, I mean, as far as what the ATC is doing, let's see that. Let's see, where did that -8 go? Yep. That's right. They're doing a hard left out of here, so you can see right here that -8 was just on the roll. They're up and they're steering clear Boeing Field, which is right here, which is where we are. So I'm just keeping my eye out. I'm purposefully not moving the camera, but I will. I'll just put something interesting on, like this Freedom plane. I don't know what that's about, but. I'd be really curious if anybody could look up Freedom Plane and tell me what that is. Jeez. I swear I'm going to have to walk out to the grass. This is getting crazy. Stop going into my shot. If offered a ride on the Blue Angels on the flight, would I take it? Yep, I would. And you know what? If I puked or passed out, I wouldn't even be that embarrassed about it. Because I mean, that's an experience for so very few people. Oh, they're right above us. I cannot get them. There is no way. They're literally right above me. I can't get the camera vertical like that. But you can hear them. They're gonna go right into the sun. And this is usually when they fire missiles at you, when they're coming from the sun. What about you, Alex? Would you hop on a Super Hornet? At least they turned off the forklifts. So the way they generally do their maneuvers. They go through and they do the show, and then they will do a low pass over Boeing Field, smoke on, and then they'll peel off one at a time, and each one circles around to land. So, but today, because it's a practice day, I'm not really sure. All I know is that there's going to be all these people in Seattle complaining about the noise. That is a given. That's going to happen every single year. But aside from that, I don't know what's going to be happening today. I see one that's heading out. It's right over downtown. Yeah, go ahead and buzz those people on Capitol Hill. You know, you gotta, Alex, you gotta go on an empty stomach, man. You cannot do these things on a, you can't go eat like a full breakfast and then get in these planes. It's just, nope. Oh, that's really interesting, Mike. Thanks for letting us know. I had no idea. So, does this include, like, the... Well, I mean, does this include, like, the Declaration of Independence? I mean, is that, like, when you say, you know, founding documents, is that what it is? That would be insane, but or maybe a replica of it. I don't know. That'd be really interesting to know. Yeah, I was looking at the weather, and that's the thing. I was looking at the weather at that time. It's around noon. It's supposed to be raining, and it's supposed to taper off by about 3 o'clock. So if that's the case, then the show might go. Just depends on what the cloud situation is like and whether or not they can do a show safely. And they'll make that go, no-go decision, you know, probably a couple hours before. All right, I've got, they're way up there. They're probably, it's literally right above me right now, 10,000 feet. There's no way I could catch that shot. This is good practice for me, too, to know what to expect on Saturday. But then again, if it's a low show, then it won't really matter. What they're doing right now won't even apply on Saturday.
You want to go, you're going to be at Fenceline South the whole time, or you want to go from north to south?
Wow, it has the Declaration of Independence on it. That is cool. That is cool. (1823) original stone engraving. The Constitution. Wow. This is crazy. Sorry, I got some. Where are they? Trying to keep up with these little gnats that are flying in the sky. There they are. See? That's what I'm working with. Now, granted, I'm on a lens that I probably can't. Even, you know what? Even if I had a higher zoom ratio with these things, finding them is always the challenge when you're zoomed in. If you've ever done any kind of video camera work, you know it's trying to zoom in on something, or you're already zoomed in and then trying to capture it. It's almost impossible. I need like a target, like a laser target or something. No, I can't do a laser target, but you know what I'm talking about. I need something where I can just look down that, and that's kind of center line. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Treaty of Paris, ended the Revolutionary War. Wow, that's crazy. They're at the Museum of Flight. Okay.
421 Boeing ground proceed across runway 32 left hand, 32 right at Bravo 4.
Wow, that's cool.
Can I ask you a question?
And checking in on the other frequency, say again, please.
Are the other planes taking off, or is that going to be way later?
What other planes? Oh, the other two?
Thank you. 44, yeah, you're...
I don't know what they're doing. It's practice day, so it could be
time as you, so I was just checking in with them.
anything. At this point, it's like I just kind of catch it as it goes, so I'm just kind of rolling with it.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Huh? Oh, we got to get down to that. I want to see that. I did see the Declaration of Independence a long time ago. I was probably 10 years old at the Smithsonian or whatever, wherever they're housed in D.C. I did see that, but it would be cool to see it again. As far as Seattle flights, no, I cannot with the hardware I'm using right now. I do have software and hardware that allows me to do that other ways, and that's one of the things that I want to get to doing, is being able to have people stream in from multiple locations and then kind of produce the show. But then I really do need a dedicated producer, or I need somebody that I can trust with the camera. I use a product called Ecamm for the Mac that allows me to do that exactly. And I also put people's comments up on the screen and that kind of stuff too. Not quite there yet, but we are there in terms of the technology. I just don't, the hardware I don't have at the moment. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. It's National Treasure, whatever, Part 3. You're in Everett? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's. If you're looking to head down here now, that's probably not ideal. Well, I don't know. I mean, you can make it down here, but they do have that afternoon practice. That's going to be, I believe it's 3:30 to 4:30, or 3 to 4:30, something like that. All right.
America, no, 9866 Point Tower.
Okay, I'm trying to find them out on the line, so I'm keeping, like I said, I'm keeping it focused here. Let's look at another plane. We've seen the MD-11 enough. There we go. C-130. You know what? 5 and 6, I do not see. Look, we can zoom over there.
9866 Point Tower, still on frequency.
I can't tell with this zoom ratio if their canopies are up or down on this little monitor, but there's activity around 5 and 6. It could be. I mean, the solos have to do practice too, so I'm not entirely sure why they would not be part of this, other than maybe the 4, the group, they will go and do their thing, and then the solos will come and do their thing, and maybe they do everything together in the afternoon. Who knows? I mean, they've done this show enough times that they have, at this point, they probably got it down, but they're trying to find all their markers as far as like when they're gonna do the various movements, right? Because the topography is different. Some of these people might have been here last year. Some of them might have, are new. I know they shake up the team every year, so it's possible that there's a lot of people here that just need to know where their markers are for, and they listen to the boss. So when the boss wants to hit it, they'll hit that maneuver. But even for the boss, just trying to get the timing right based on the locale. No, Seattle flights, yeah, okay, so maybe they are open. It's hard to tell on I mean, even now I have like a 6-inch monitor that I'm looking through, and it's still not big enough for my aging eyes, I guess. Seattle flights. No, I have not seen Fat Albert here for the past 2 years. And now, is that the support aircraft for the for the Blue Angels? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Will it be flying during the show? Could be. Who knows? But I kind of miss that, because Fat Albert here in Seattle, Fat Albert used to, it used to be that plane that would, if you look at here, I'll go back to the map here real quick and you take a look. You can see Show Center is right around here, Seward Park, or Genesee Park. It's kind of like right around here. That's kind of this area here. Between the I-90 bridge and the park here, this is kind of Show Center. This is where they do the hydroplane races earlier in the day. Then that's when they do all their flight demonstrations, and the Blue Angels is the Show Center for them. But what Fat Albert would do, and what's really cool is they let people go out on this bridge. The I-90 bridge is a floating bridge. They'll let people walk out about a quarter mile or so onto the bridge, and the jets will fly right over that thing. It's super cool. Yeah, they're way over me right now. If you can hear them, they're way over me right now. Don't worry. As soon as I can see them and I can get a shot that's worth getting, I will definitely zoom in on. But what they used to do is Fat Albert would come. You see where the word Mercer Island is? It would come right over Mercer Island from the east. So from, like you see, Factoria and Bellevue, it come from the east right over Mercer Island, just completely catch the crowd off guard. But I haven't seen it here in a while, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Okay, you're across the street from them. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. If Fat Albert shows up but you see, usually Fat Albert arrives the day before today or 2 days ago. So I'm not entirely sure where, if it's coming. Is it just going to hang out for 2 days during the show, or what's going to happen? I just don't know. So we'll find out. I mean, we'll just keep an eye out for them. But it would be great to see Fat Albert. I remember when they used to do the jet assisted takeoffs with Fat Albert at the Naval Air Station by the house that I grew up in, New Orleans, Belle Chase Naval Air Station. That was cool. But I haven't seen that recently. So maybe they do it for certain shows, or maybe they don't want to do the JATO here. I don't know. We will find out on Saturday, or maybe tomorrow. Is somebody who might else be streaming it? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do anything or not. But they're scheduled. I mean, they've only been up in the air for 25 minutes, so they're scheduled to go for 2 hours. Now, is that a 2-hour block, and then they're going to be done in an hour or an hour and a half? Who knows? Okay, here we got one. Where are you? Come on. Yeah, they are moving way too fast for me. Yeah, there they are. Too late now. Beneath the tree line they go. Like I said, it's really hard to lock onto them when you're zoomed in like that. It's like, where am I looking? Where am I looking? See if I can do some. Okay. All right, I got a dragonfly out there. They're hanging out. Trying to see if there's anything else interesting on the field. Normally, they might be arriving today or tomorrow, but there's other fighter jets that show up here, other military aircraft that show up. We also have some other flight demonstrations for the weekend. Various aerobatics that are scheduled for that. For the air show actually starts at about, I believe it's 12:30 every day. The Blue Angels are the headliner, so they come last at 3:30 local time, and that's what we're going to be here for on Saturday. So hopefully, even if it rains, that's okay. If they can still fly, that'll be awesome. So stay tuned. Yeah, so the microjet. I remember those. I remember those from there was the one that they used in the James Bond movie, and I was looking into them just recently, just kind of seeing what happened with that microjet, and they're not very safe airplanes. There's a lot of crashes with those jets. So the fact that there's still a few flying around, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so there you go. So the Coast Guard, Search and Rescue. Yeah, thanks for that, Seattle Flights. I appreciate that. So they do have an F-35 coming. And yeah, that we'll have. So there'll be some. The Apache is pretty cool, and well, I mean, it's all pretty cool, but a lot of that stuff's going to happen over on the other side. So, you know, if you are so inclined, you can. Let's see if we can catch this guy. No. Whoa. Okay. Literally passing right behind me. Let's see if I can catch him. They are just too fast. And this lens is just, there they are. This lens is not want. Okay. I'm going to have to situate myself for Saturday so that I don't have obstacles in my way of rotating around here. I've got an iPad sitting right next to me. So I have to walk around the iPad when I'm rotating like that. That's going to go away. I'm not going to do that on Saturday. I don't need it. Thanks for everybody tuning in. I mean, right now we're just watching the practice as best as we can. There's where the show is basically over that ridge of trees. So we are standing at Boeing Field on the west side of the field, and of course, this is where there's a lot of there's activity. But right now, this feels like a Sunday afternoon. There is nothing going on at the airport. It is dead skis here, because the Blue Angels are flying. And then we are now sitting inside of a temporary flight restricted zone. There's no aircraft activity. There's no commercial aircraft activity coming out of SeaTac over. Normally, what would be right over the airport here, that's not happening right now. The airspace around us, above us, is shut down for their practice. So they're going to be buzzing all around the place. If you're watching from other points within Seattle, let me know when you hear them. If you're over on the east side in Bellevue, Redmond, Renton, Mercer Island, check in to see. Let me know if you're watching them or if you're seeing them, because they literally fly all around the area, and it's really cool to see this. Now we'll just keep an eye on the forecast for the weekend. Right now it's looking a little sketchy for Saturday, but we'll see. Might be a nice day to do it too, though, because if they're doing a low show, we'll see a lot less aircraft going up in the sky that I can't catch because of the way this camera is, or the way the tripod is. So there's a C-130. Oh yeah, I mean, dude's I can see one right now. He's at like 10,000 feet, easy. So they are definitely practicing their high show maneuvers right now. Some ramp activity here. The Boeing boys, the guys in the safety vests and safety shirts, are with the forklifts, and now we have a Boeing convention going on over here. I'll pan over to them while they're not looking. There we go. They're all hanging out. I'm sure they're on their lunch break. I'm sure. Those are the culprits that got my shot during the takeoff. All right, so I see some activity. Let's see if we can catch them. They are in they just turn like a low profile. There they are. So just to give you a sense of what is the distance there, they're probably about 5 miles away from me right now. And so there's a 350 millimeter lens that's on this thing, and that's about as far as I can see when the plane is that tiny. Works great for commercial flights, A350, 747, 777s works great for this. These tiny little low-profile aircraft that are zipping by at 400 miles an hour, that's not so much. But I tried to rent a bigger lens at the place where we rent, where a lot of the photographers rent for the area, and they were just everything was out. But I think this is a better lens for close-up shots, as far as like catching them when they're landing and stuff like that. So. Yay, they're leaving. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Just trying to take a look here. Okay, I'm going to get sunburnt. I can already tell. Alex, when I go to work tomorrow, I'm going to be like a lobster again. I have a hat on, but I can feel the back of my neck getting toasted right now. Where are they? I'm looking. I am scanning the sky constantly, trying to see what I see. Well, they're doing something. The fun part is that when they go out on the east side, they're on the east side. When I say east side, I mean the east side of the Seattle area, which encompasses Bellevue, Redmond, Kirkland, Renton. You can look on the map and see that. Oh, sorry, I'm sitting here going on the wrong view the whole time. And never mind. So, when they're on the east side like that, they zoom past people, and then the people come running out of their offices and stuff like that, and then by the time they get out of their offices, they're long gone. So and then they stand out there, and everybody's lunch break is, goes to crap because they're sitting around waiting, and chances are the Blue Angels won't even go back right over them again. So, show center is like I said, it's right around that area on I-90, and they're going to be. That's where they're going to be doing most of their practice work anyway, or at least that's where they converge. I just saw a sparrow go by, and I was like, was that one? No, that's not it. It's a sparrow. We are keeping track, though. So in the meantime, for your viewing pleasure, we'll go back to the Freedom plane. I had no idea that those documents were in town. I might have to make it down to the Museum of Flight. That would be really cool to see. Okay, now I got them. There's another one coming right behind them. Where'd he go? There it is. It's interesting for those of you, if you're watching Blue Angels, thank you for coming in and tuning in to watch this. I appreciate it. Again, we will be streaming again on Saturday for the actual show. And there will be a lot less of time in between. Today is just a quick impromptu show to catch them when they're doing their practice runs. So if you're on your lunch hour, or if you're just hanging out, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody tuning in. But speaking of the MD-11 across the way, that's a UPS MD-11. And if you follow the show at all, this MD-11 has been parked here since the crash back in November in Louisville. And it has not moved, whereas I've seen that the FedEx MD-11s have started flying again. So it's good to see it back up in the air. I don't know what the lifespan is of these aircraft now, given the issues with the design, or at least the fatigue cracks that caused that engine to depart the plane and caused that MD-11 to crash. But apparently FedEx is, this is what I've read. I don't know for a fact, but this is what I've read, is that FedEx's maintenance routine was more thorough and as a result, their aircraft have been okayed to fly. So this one has not left the ground since November of last year. Yeah, it's they got to make a hard left. They got to stay out of the TFR. That includes all the commercial aircraft. They got to. They got to. I'm just scanning the sky here, see what I see, if I see anything. If you're local to the area, let me know if you're planning to come to Seafair, to either watch the air shows, watch the hydroplanes, watch both, do whatever. We had an unfortunate incident in Seattle downtown by the Space Needle last weekend, and I fear that that's going to cause a lot of people to not want to come out this weekend, but hopefully people do come out, and and it's a good time for everybody. I hear them. I do not see them. I'm looking. Where are you guys? Where are those little gnats on the horizon? I'm curious, for those of you watching, and if you want to chat in, I'm not going to do a poll or anything like this, but I kind of want to ask a question, because I know I have my answer for this in terms of flight demonstration teams. In the United States, the two primary flight demonstration teams are, of course, the Navy, the Blue Angels, which also includes the Marine Corps, but there's also the Air Force Thunderbirds. In your opinion, which one, if you had a chance to watch them, which one would you rather see? I'm curious about that. Oh, here we go. There they are. So I'm not really sure. So we got 3 there, and then the other guy is bringing up the rear. I don't know if that's part of the maneuver or not. And again, I'm not going to do a poll on this. I'm just kind of curious. What do people prefer? If you've seen both teams, which one was better in your view? I think they both have their skills. And, the F-18 versus the F-16. Which one do you prefer? I don't want to start any kind of weird controversies here, because I know that people have their preferences. But I'm just really curious. If you like the Thunderbirds, why? And why the F-16 over the F-18 Super Hornet? And if you prefer the F-18 over the F-16, why? Why do you prefer that plane? I don't think it has so much to do with the teams. The aircraft is just, they're different, right? They're fighter jets. They both have fighter jet capabilities, but which one do you think pulls it off better when it comes to flight demonstrations? Seattle flights, I'm not streaming on Sunday. I have to work. So Trucker Norm says both. Airplane Chuck says the Blue Angels, hands down. Let's see. Yeah, Taylor says the Blue Angels, but the Thunderbirds put on a good show. Moons, I do not have them in sight right now, and I will admit that my vision is not what it used to be, but I can pick them out against a blue sky pretty easily. And I see nothing at the moment. So they're low or off in the distance to the point where I can't see them. If you want to see F-18s, there are some on the ground right there. They don't appear to be flying, at least right now. But have you noticed that air traffic control has just gone totally silent? Let me check in on that and see if that's, it's still playing. It's live. It's just completely off. Oh, I hear them. Okay, let's see if they pop out. Oh, there they go. But they're already in an aspect ratio. I can't really catch them at. Yeah. Once they turn so that the plane is like perpendicular to my view, the long axis of the plane, I can't. Good luck. Especially against a light gray sky. We'll catch them though. We'll catch them. Cool, Moons. Well, you know, there's definitely there's going to be some cool views of them. Tomorrow's going to be great weather. I'm looking, you know, Saturday looks like it could be rainy. Again, I don't look at all these people over here. I don't know for sure if we're gonna see that or not. I will trust the weather forecast when I get a little bit closer to Saturday. Look at all these people hanging out over here. Oh, they're going on the Freedom plane. Or maybe, I don't know. So one of the things that I don't see a lot of today is smoke. The usage of the smoke from the Blue Angels themselves.
Blue Angel 5, Boeing ground, runway 32 left, taxi via Alpha, hold short 32 left drop.
There you go, Blue Angel 5.
Blue Angel 5, actually runway 32 left at Alpha 8, taxi via Alpha.
Okay, so I got the taxi via Alpha. I don't know how he's going to get the 32 left, unless he's going to cut across Alpha 8. Let's take a look here. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump that. Can't see those taxiway signs, but that's Bravo 5 there. But so it looks like Blue number 5 is going to be heading out. There they go. There's 5. Now I can't hear 5 right now through liveatc.net, which is kind of a bummer. Okay, and then right above, as they're taxiing out, there are these guys. And keep going. See how low they're flying? It's like, boom. That's not a whole lot of altitude. All right, let's go back over to Blue 5. There they are. Oh, looks like Blue 6 is running too. So, okay, good. So the solos are going up. Cool. That's what I like to see. A little extra action. And there they go. Thanks everybody for stopping in and watching this Blue Angels practice. It's always cool to see people watching. Oh, we got a shot here. Where are they? Come on. Nope, they're like right above me. Yep. Well, you can hear them. We're gonna work on that for Saturday. We're gonna get that locked down. Those guys are moving too fast, and this lens is too slow. So anyway, here's 5 and 6 going, taxiing out. with the chaser. So they're going to go...
Blue Angel 5, 2 bunker.
I said Alpha 8.
Blue Angel 5, just wondering what information that you were looking for.
Hopefully they'll cross over like they did before. They have to if they're going to do the...
5, copy.
If they're going to taxi full... Or sorry, if they're going to go runway full length, they have to cross over. There's Alpha 7.
Airport 5, are you following the Blue Angels, or are you just requesting out to Bravo? Airport 5, roger. The Blue Angels are going to 32 left at Alpha 8.
Oh, they're going to 32 left at Alpha 8, which is... Oh, that's a bummer. That's way down on the other end. Oh, well. Okay.
5, cross runway 32 left at Alpha 7. Continue on Bravo to 32 left.
So there's a two-person F-18 Super Hornet. That's 5. And then you can see 6 is a single-seater. There goes Ops. Well, these guys won't go right past us, but that's okay. And then we're going to cross down
Blue
the
Angel
field.
5, just got told by the supervisor in the tower cab that your company's about to do the diamond aileron roll. Are you guys ready to go?
Oh, maybe they'll take off from Alpha 8. Well, they're going to hang out here for a moment. Okay.
Four 5, affirmative. Blue Angel 5, wind 210 at 6, runway 32 left at Alpha 8, clear for takeoff.
Okay, so they are taking off at an intersection departure, so they're not gonna use the full length of the runway. At least we're hearing the tower at this point.
Blue Angel 5, that's approved as requested.
I want to meet Blue Angel 3's pilot and shake that dude's hand after that flyby that they did
Airport 4, roger.
in Florida. I'm sure everybody who's watching has seen that. Kind of ridiculous. So cool. So it looks like they're both on the field. Yeah. There they are. Go to mill power. There we go. That's what I like. So now they're going to bring the solos into the practice. That's cool. And then just in time.
4 plus 1 Boeing tower pursuit requested on 32 left. Airport 4, sorry, proceed over request on Alpha.
All right. Personally, I love the solos. I think the solos are so fun to watch. especially when they do that knife edge where they just come right at each other and they just bank right before they, you know, they're right on each other. And it looks so cool. The solos look like they have a lot of fun during the show. At least for me. They look like they're having more fun because they're not tied into whatever the group's doing. They're going off and zooming around and, you know, doing all these like wild maneuvers. Okay, there we go. There they are. See, when they get about right there, it's really easy to lose these guys. See how it just that profile is just like it's become like a little slit in the sky.
Blue Angel 5, 120.4.
All right. Can the Blue Angels fly to Hawaii? They probably need a tanker refuel at least once. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. They probably need a tanker fuel at least once. They're not necessarily designed to fly that far, but I mean, they're small aircraft, so they probably have small fuel tanks. They got enough to go up and do a dogfight, but they're probably not running it, you know, obviously they're not running it full afterburner out to Hawaii. But I'm guessing if they needed to do a mid-air refuel, that would not be out of the question. Let us take a look. Let's see. Yeah, all these flights are out of SeaTac are just, they're just, it's kind of crazy, but that's what they got to do. The inbound flights, though, are not, they're just coming straight in. That's those outbounds. And they're all just hanging it. All of them. Which makes sense. I see. Okay. Back to the show. Let's see what we see. I'm guessing right now, I mean, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm guessing they're kind of grouping up and trying to figure out, or not figure out, they've figured it out, but maybe they're going to do parts of the sequence that involves all 6 of them. And I can see the 4 out there. Just, where did they go? There they are. There's 4 of them right there. That's the diamond. Or not, they're not doing a diamond right now, but. And it is that quiet. They are not, you cannot hear them at all. You will at some point. There they are. Pip. Zip it. Zip it, Pipper. All right. Back to, well, let's go back over to our Freedom plane. And the growing line of people waiting to get on it, I guess. There it is. Oh, here we go. I don't know if they must be getting up out of here. Come on, there they are. Yeah, that's still 4 of them. Where's our solos? Yes, they build all the 175s here. I appreciate that, Julie. I do. It is tough to catch these little things on a 5.5-inch screen. I finally upgraded to a better screen. It used to be like a 2-inch screen, but even still, even with a 5.5-inch screen, I'm still having a hard time catching them. But doing my best. So I appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. So we're just gonna kind of keep looking around here and see what we see. So now where the Blues were parked, way over yonder, there is nothing there, which makes sense. We got number 7 over there. That's the media plane, and that's been here since Tuesday, I believe. And I don't see where they are. They must be grouping up. Oh, here we go. Now I see them. There they are. Come on, camera. Oh, there they go. So you can see this is the kind of what they do with this particular maneuver. So they are using the smoke now, which is good. Kind of get a sense of where they are. That helps me locate them a little bit more easily. Yeah, that's right. They build the SR-71. Oh, here we go. Come on. See, it's so easy to lose them. Don't know where my solos are, but we'll find them. We will look. Yeah, this is after last weekend, Julie. It would be nice to have an upbeat event and something that everybody can kind of rally around. You know, I know some people have not so positive views of the Blue Angels being in town, but I think that's one of the highlights of the year, being able to see it. It has nothing to do with any kind of political agenda or anything like that. It's just, it just shows the level of precision that we can fly these aircraft at, and it's so cool to watch. And let's see if I can get them. There they are. It always freaks me out when they disappear below the tree line like that, But here's the, if I can I zoom out? There's the loop right there that they just did. So yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on the horizon. Just anytime I can catch these guys there, because honestly, I have no idea, because this is the practice day. I don't know what they're doing. I have no clue. I look for a little, black dots in the sky with some smoke behind them, and I go, oh, that's where they are. The payoff though is at the end when they come into Boeing Field, and if they do their normal thing, they will buzz the runway and peel off with smoke on. They'll buzz the runway and they'll peel off one at a time and come back and land, which is always a great thing. And then getting a chance to see them land and then taxi and then go park. It's nice. It's a nice show. And so what we're going to have to do really is just keep an eye on what it is that you know, like as far as like the flow of aircraft on Saturday. Typically speaking, when we get inclement weather here, the winds shift out of the north, which means that the way they took off today is going to be the opposite of what will Saturday be, potentially. So we will see. Hey, one thing, one of the things I wanted to point out was that for those of you who are just joining, thank you, by the way, for everybody watching. But for those of you just joining, at the beginning of the stream, I was able to, while the air traffic was still flying around, they're around here somewhere. I'm trying to find them. While the regular air traffic was around, wherever they are, they're gone now. The 777X took off, and I managed to capture that. And so if you want, you can rewind to the beginning of the stream and see the 777X with the Boeing livery take off out of Boeing Field. I started early specifically because I saw that thing coming right at us, and I said, okay, I got to start. And unfortunately, I had some Wi-Fi issues, but that's neither here nor there. I did catch the takeoff. It's at the beginning of the stream. Make sure to tune in for that.
Boeing time, medevac 175 Alpha Alpha on the ILS for 32 left.
Medevac 175 Alpha Alpha, Boeing Tower, wind 190 at 5, runway 32 left, clear to land.
Here comes the Boeing Fire Department. There goes the Boeing Fire Department. Yes, they have their own fire department.
Not yet any medevac 5 Alpha Alpha.
Medevac 5 Alpha Alpha, roger.
Leslie, nothing related military. You can look it up on the news. I don't really want to talk about it online, but there was an event here in Seattle last weekend that was very unfortunate. And so yeah, we're here. We're gonna stay positive because, you know, sometimes things happen, and yeah, I'm hoping this weekend will be a better weekend for the city.
Medevac 5 Alpha Alpha, you can disregard. It's going to be the published missed approach if you approach.
Published missed, medevac 5 Alpha Alpha. Thanks.
Okay, let's see where we're at here. Well, all the Seattle flights are just doing their thing. We have an Allegiant aircraft going. What altitude are they at? Oh, they're at 22,000 feet. So, okay, they're outside the TFR. So they're fine. And we are just waiting to catch them. So this is. Oh, here we go. I got something here. There they are. We try and catch them whenever they pop out for like this, for like a couple of seconds, and then they go away. But, you know, it's better than nothing. That's just the thing with the practice days. They are doing multiple things. Some of it is going to be in the final show. Some of it won't be. I guess it depends on. I mean, I can't imagine. You know, they're doing 2 practices today. I can't imagine that is something that is. Yeah, it's got to be draining. I mean, and they don't have a whole lot of time between the 2 practices, a couple of hours, and so they have to rest up, maybe eat lunch, and then get back up and do another practice run. But the last practice that they do today is kind of like the dress rehearsal. Today is, I mean, right now, the practice that they're doing is more than likely just making sure that they get the maneuvers down, that they got their different points down, and that they're, as far as like landmarks where they're going to start their maneuvers and things like that. And then, sorry, bumped the camera there. And then the dress rehearsal will be this evening. So And for those of you who don't know, if you haven't followed the Blue Angels, they have what's known as their regular show, and then they have a low show. And right now, it seems that they're practicing the regular show. Even though they're kind of low, they haven't popped up yet. They'll do that, I'm sure, at some point today. But the low show is designed for when there's inclement weather and the ceilings are high enough to where they can run a show safely, but they're not so high that they can't go up. I mean, because who wants to watch an air show where the planes just go into the clouds? And I don't think it's very safe either. So, well, of course they have to go to the bathroom. That goes without saying. So more ops people. Lots of activity on the field today. Well, not aircraft activity right now. Although we do. What is this about? What's this guy doing here? How did you sneak in? Very quietly. That's for sure. Let's see what that is.
Back 5 Alpha, turn right Alpha 3 or Alpha 5, cross runway 32, right.
They're not even on the radar. What's up with that? Okay. So we'll zoom back out here. So you can see Boeing Field is north of Seattle International Airport. For those of you unfamiliar, for those of you who know, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I want to make sure everybody knows what's going on. But Boeing Field is about 5 miles north of Seattle International. It is where Boeing has its delivery facility for their aircraft. So 737s, 777s. Well, I'm sorry, I take that back. The 777s do not get delivered here. They get delivered out of Everett, but the 737s do. And that's on the north end of the field. The 777X, which is in test phases right now, they also have 3 or 4 of them parked here almost all the time. We had the one that was, we had a 777X take off earlier, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. That was, that particular aircraft is massive. If you've not seen one, you just go back and rewind and you'll see it at the beginning of the stream. It's insane how big that plane is, and where I'm standing right now, the winglets are not far above my head, and I'm way off the taxiway, the center line of the taxiway. So the other thing is with Boeing Field, there's a mixture.
Boeing 1504, Boeing Tower, runway 14 right, clear to land.
Oh.
Clear for the overhead wind 210 at 6, break your discretion.
Okay, so we have something coming in on 14 right. So they have switched. All right. Well, it is what it is. And of course, now I've got my Boeing people right there. There they are. Are we going to get smoke? Yes, we do. We got smoke. So there they go. They all peel off one at a time. And then they come in back to land one at a time. So there's one. There's two. Where's our other guy? Come on, bring up the rear. There they are. Gear coming out. I hear somebody's car alarm going off. That's great. Yep, my watch just reminded me it's a loud environment. Thank you, Apple Watch. I appreciate that. I'm quite aware. All right. So they're going to come into land now. Sorry about the jitteriness there. It's hard to lock in on all these guys. I can either go wide shot. It's like these guys. I swear, they're going to get my shot no matter what. All right, so here's how they come into land, just kind of one at a time. Yeah. get out of the way. Okay. And there's the other one. So we'll kind of come around here. Where are you? There you are. There's number one. Two. Of course. Number three. Good old number three. Good job on that Pensacola Beach thing. Number four. Coming in frame. There we go. There they are. Now, I'm not really sure what the solos are up to, but I'm going to keep an eye out for them. So this is interesting. Look, you can see here. Well, you can. Oh, I can hear them now. So there they are, kind of all on the runway. Got to take the boss's lead. One right there.
1 flight of 4, taxi parking via Alpha.
All right, so they are. So it looks like this. Okay, the solos are out doing their thing now. I see what's going on. So these guys are going to go have some lunch. The Seattle flight said maybe have a bio break.
Airport 4, were you looking to follow them to parking? Roger.
I want to thank everybody for joining this impromptu live stream. I'm going to stick with it until the solos are down. So for those of you who want to stick around, I will be here for that. Might be a little bit less dramatic. I don't know. I'm hoping not. It would be awesome if they did the knife edge right over the field, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, these guys are going to go back, and then they're going to get back out in the air a little bit later today. So if you're in the area, you can hang out. If you have the opportunity, they are parked. Well, you can see here, there they all go. They're parked at the main terminal, which is kind of the old red brick building on the east side of the field, and you can definitely go and at least see them. I'm not sure how close you can get to them, but yeah, you can go check them out, or at the very minimum, catch them when they're taking off out of here. I will be back on back at my house for the rest of the day after we're done here. But like I said, I'm gonna hang around for the solos. And as they fly directly over me, see if I can catch them. They're not coming into frame. Let's get out of. There they are. Those guys have more fun, I think. I think. I mean, I could be wrong. But there's our flight of 4 heading back to parking. Julie, you're welcome. Hey, seriously, to anybody that's been watching, I really appreciate it. This has been such a great experience, and be able to stream this around the world through YouTube is super cool. Like I said, I'm going to stick out here until the solos have landed. So that
Over 74767, remain outside of the TFR.
Yeah, remain outside the TFR. Got it. So I'll be hanging out and watching them. Yeah, we'll catch them on the landing, and then we'll wrap up the stream then. So looks like we got about another 45 minutes for the solos to be doing their thing. And so as we get them, it's not going to be necessarily, as like I said before, it might not be as dramatic as the diamond formation and the group of 4, but we'll stream what we stream. So you're getting the chance to see them practice, which is really cool. I mean, and I don't know where everybody is around the world, but it is cool to be able to watch this live. I am not doing any streaming tomorrow. So there's lots of people streaming tomorrow. I unfortunately have to do this thing called work. And so I will not be here for the live stream tomorrow. I will be back on Saturday unless the show is called off due to weather. But I will be back on Saturday here at Boeing Field, almost in the exact same spot. And I plan on streaming on Saturday. I don't know what kind of show to expect, just depending upon the weather. Right now, Saturday seems to be the only day that looks like it could be a little bit bonkers for us in terms of precipitation. Really just comes down to what happens with the weather gods, I guess. So we'll see. And, like I said, I'm going to stick around a little bit more today, and then we'll wrap it, and then I'll be back on Saturday. But for those of you who have joined in, I really appreciate it. I think this is the most people we've had on the stream at one time on this tiny little channel that I started not too long ago. And I definitely want to thank everybody for coming in. What's up, Tim Arnold? Yeah, the flyover is really cool. And, they make it known that they're there because they come in hot, and they're definitely, they're loud. I'm having to play around. I can hear my microphone cutting in and out. I think I need to adjust that for Saturday's stream. I'll get that worked out. It's also practice days for me too, trying to get everything kind of dialed in for this stream. But meanwhile, you're looking at the Freedom plane and the ridiculous amount of people that are lined up to get on this. I guess get on the plane. The plane is open. So yeah, look at all these people, and just keeps going on and on. So yeah, so you're looking at this is parked right across the way. This is a few thousand feet away across the field, and yeah, that's here. We have right now at the field, at least, we've got this plane. We've also got the C-130 across the way, and from a show standpoint, that's it at the moment. We do have the MD-11 that's been parked here since last November. That's unfortunate, but it is. And then the Blues, they are already parked. They're there. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Yeah, they're there. They're already shut down and ready to call it. Thanks, Trucker Norm, and thanks for all the thanks for the update on the likes. It's it's really cool. Like I said, this is just a hobby for me. I really enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's always cool to share the experience and the wonder of aviation with everybody. I am going to step away for a moment because, like the Blue Angels, I have to take a bio break. And lucky for me, where I am, I can do that legally. So give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back. And meanwhile, enjoy the Freedom plane. I'll be right back.
Delta 74 Boeing clear. Stand by, that's request. Delta 74 clearance available, advisory copy. Delta 74 clear to Oscar Tango Hotel Airport via the Cobain 1 departure, then as filed, climb via the SID, departure frequency 120.4, squawk 4751.
All right, well, I got the solos here right overhead. And I'm just kind of see where they're going, what their shenanigans. Let's keep an eye on that. Let's see here. Watching from across the pond. Awesome. Well, thank you for doing that. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to share this worldwide. It really is. Let's see if we're gonna get. Let's see if I can get these guys. Just trying to get my focus. There's my Boeing people. This hour brought to you by Heister. No, just kidding. If they sponsored the show, that would be really cool. There they are. Both of them way out in the distance. They're over downtown Seattle right now, which is about a 5-mile as the crow flies from here. They're just goofing off, it looks like. Here they come. What are you guys doing? Where are you going? Let's see if I can get both of them in the shot. There we go. Looks like they're just kind of... There we go. I swear, these guys, like I said, they just look like they're having fun. These are the ones, the solos are the ones that are fun to watch from somewhere, else inside, like, other parts of Seattle, because they'll literally come out of nowhere. Pow! Just, and then everybody, like I was saying earlier, everybody comes running out of their offices. They're already long gone by the time that those people, or by the time the solos have passed, But this is one of those events that really shuts down Seattle in the afternoons on Thursday and Friday, and for people quote unquote working for a couple hours, and then they'll these guys will be done in 30 minutes, and then they'll be back in the air in a little bit. And when they go back in the air, then people stop again. Now, so my job, because they close the bridge in between Seattle and Bellevue, where I live, my job is to get back over that bridge before they close it again for the next practice. So that's my goal after we wrap it here today. And if you haven't, this is the first time tuning into the channel, first of all, thanks. Secondly, because we're based here in Seattle, we tend to stream a lot at Seattle International, formerly known as SeaTac. That is predominantly where we stream from. We'll be here at Boeing Field from time to time, especially for special aircraft like the 777X. We'll get some of the UPS flights that come in and out of here. sometimes like we were here from when the World Cup was ending after the last game of the World Cup here in Seattle. We caught all kinds of aircraft leaving, all the private jets that were leaving, including Paris Hilton and the Nike jet. They were all here. So we tend to stream around this area. Not opposed to going anywhere else. It really just comes down to where the activity is. There goes the cops. So that's a C-130 that will be part of the demonstration on Saturday. And I'm super thrilled to hear about this Freedom plane. I had no idea what that was about. I guess I should have looked into that before I asked you guys about it, but I didn't even know it was here. Speaking of, let's get right up here. There they are. Those are solos. I think what I'm gonna have to do, one of the things I want to do, I'm gonna switch out of autofocus because these guys, they keep tripping up the focus on this lens. Let's do that right now. There we go. Oh wait, did I? No, that's all right. Full range, okay. That should help. All right, let's see if we can track them a little bit more. Let's play around with our focus a little bit here. Let's zoom in. And there we go. Yep. Tack sharp, like it. Seattle Airport changed its name. This where we are right now is King County, technically known as King County International Airport, KCIA. Boeing Field is the other name for it. SeaTac changed its name recently as a marketing thing. It is still located, obviously, in SeaTac, Washington, which is, believe it or not, a city in the area. But the airport dropped the TAC not too long ago, actually. It's been rather recent. And if you look at the logo, it just says "Seat" on it. And all the branding, all the employees working all the employees working inside the airport, they are all wearing just green badges and stuff like that say "C" on them. So they dropped the TAC. I think it's more of a marketing thing than anything else. And I don't know the reasoning behind it, but that's what they did. All right, solos, where y'all at? It's too bad flight radar doesn't pick up on those things. Can hear them. See what else we got going on. Nothing else. So what's going to happen? Just obviously the solos are still up, and they're going to be up for a little bit longer. What's going to happen after they land is that all the activity in the airport will kick off again, whatever that is. And we do have them right there. There's one. There's the other. All right. So they're doing their fun thing, whatever that is. And in the meantime, I'm going to switch this back on temporarily. So you have to forgive me. I'm playing around with a test lens. I'm just I'm not familiar with this lens, so some of the things I'm still getting used to. So if things get out of focus or things get a little wonky, my apologies. It's just, that's what I'm working with for this weekend. Seeing if I want to get this lens for a full-time thing or if I want to go with another lens. I keep playing around with them until I find something I like. You can look at some of the other streams that I've done recently, especially last weekend. I was working with a ridiculously long lens, and I was probably a mile north of Seattle International, and it was like I was right there as far as the zoom on it. It was amazing. So check those out. If you're into commercial aviation, it's fun to watch. So let's take a look. Let's see. Okay, somebody just turned on their ADSB at the airport. What is that? Huh. When are they scheduled to leave? What's going on? Let's see. Departures. I have not gone to the Museum of Flight yet. I'm might pass there on my way out of here today just to kind of see what's going on. I can't. So here, I'll pan over real quick so you can see. For those of you who don't know, we have a pretty awesome museum. It's not as comprehensive, or it doesn't have as much stuff as the National Air and Space Museum, but that right there, beyond that Gulfstream, is the Museum of Flight, that angled roof. And what's cool about this Museum of Flight is that they have a Connie. It's right there. You can kind of see it. I'll zoom in on it. Right there. Oh no, sorry, that's not it. Those are part of the Air Force. No, it's back there. You can't see it right now. But those they've got at this Museum of Flight, they've got what is called the it was the predecessor. It was the test flight or test aircraft for the SR-71, which is called the YF-12, and that they have the YF-12 there. They've got an actual F-18 mock-up cockpit that you can sit in, which is really cool. They've also got the Air Force One 707 that was used to transport JFK to and from Dallas, and where Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as president. They've got the original, the very first 747 there. They have the very first 787 there. They have the Concorde there. And these are full aircraft, right? I mean, there's really, really cool place to go. If you're into aviation and you're visiting Seattle, you got to go there because it's really unlike anything else that, with the exception of the National Air and Space Museum. There's a lot less NASA-related or space-related stuff at the Museum of Flight compared to the National Air and Space Museum. Much more commercial aviation, just history of aviation. There's the original Boeing barn. There's a lot of cool stuff there. So it's a great place to go visit if you're in town. And if you haven't been in a while, there's a lot of stuff they keep adding. So yes, I'm technically, let me look at my badge. What am I badge? Yes, I am midfield because that's what my badge says. So yes, I am midfield. I'm slightly south. I'm about quarter mile from the tower, maybe a half mile, depending. I'm not going to aim at the forklifts that are blocking my view right now of the tower, but yes, I'm about midfield. Not Purple Soda Can. Yes, they are here for Seafair. That's the only reason why they're in town, because you won't see them any other time of year. And where did they go? There. Of course, this truck is going to mess up my focus. There it goes. Not really sure what they're doing. Nothing fancy. And I really wonder if they're practicing for a low show. I have not seen a whole lot of high maneuvers today. Now, that may come in the afternoon. I am not entirely certain, but I have not seen a lot of, like, they have a maneuver that they do. They've done it every year since I can remember, where all the aircraft will kind of pop up, and they'll go into these loops, and then they'll flip around and then come right down, and they'll crisscross each other at show center. And they did not do that. So I don't know. Again, today's practice day. I have no idea what to expect. But I do know that the one thing that I do know is that I don't know what's happening. So, you could get in free into the place where you live at next to McCord Air Force Base. Oh, that's cool. Now it's, JBLM Lewis McCord. I've only been on base once, and I did it because, believe it or not, this is a part of me that I've not revealed until now. I used to own a brewery, and there is an annual beer fest that they have at the base for the soldiers that are stationed there, and we poured beer at this event, and that was the only time I've been on base, and it was an experience. They like to drink. They definitely like to drink. All right, boyos, where y'all at? Oh, there they are. Way off in the distance. They're playing peekaboo with us today. I wonder if they're going to land, or they're going to do an approach like they did, like the group of four. Where's the second one? Split off. Okay. Well, I hope. I notice. So one of the things I do is I look at the statistics of people watching in, and I was actually really surprised to see how many of you guys are watching on your TVs or your devices that are designed for TVs. And so hopefully these are a little bit bigger than what I'm looking at, which is smaller than, it's about the same size as like an iPhone Max, iPhone Pro Max, the screen size, because they look really small to me, but maybe they look a little bit bigger to you. I don't know. Tim, we already did. Last time Pip was here in Seattle, that's exactly what we did. And it was a nighttime stream. I don't know if you remember, but we started out at Seattle International on top of the parking structure, streamed there for a little bit, realized it was a terrible location, and then we came up to Boeing Field to catch some UPS flights. So, and that was January, I believe. Where are they now? Well, if I didn't have a base tan before this show, I'm definitely going to get one today. Wow. The sun is just bearing down. I wore a hat and I got my badge. We don't need no stinking badges, but it is when you're out on the ramp like this. I wish I could zoom out. It's hard with this lens that I'm using. It doesn't give you a full appreciation of the panorama that I can see. One of the things that, if this is your first time watching things happening at Boeing Field is actually located.
Modern Aviation. It's calendar November 604 with the Alpha.
Okay, one of the things at Boeing Field is that it's inside of a valley, and they are, so you can see here, see it kind of slopes down, and then you got the Boeing people, and then behind them are those cranes. That's kind of the port of Seattle. So, and then it starts to go back up again over here. You can't see, it's behind the hangars. And then same thing, if I go all the way over to the other end of the runway where Mount Rainier is off in the distance, right there. That's Mount Rainier. It's kind of playing peekaboo with us. But Mount Rainier is, again, another valley, so the wind gets channeled right through here. But, I mean, this is wide open. I mean, it's just wide open. And so the winds come through here, and because it's in the valley, the winds will go almost right down the runway. Not always, but they're pretty much aligned with the runway. Okay, the two solos are still doing some low stuff, so let's see if we can catch them a little bit further into their session. I'm just going to keep an eye out. Oh, thanks, Mark. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate that, Trucker Norm. 97 likes. If we could get to 100, that would be super rad. I think that would be our first show ever with 100 likes while we're streaming. We get more than that after the stream, but if you haven't hit that like button yet, please do. Make me feel good. So Fat Albert's in the UK, huh? I had no idea. Well, that's too bad, because that is even though it makes up a very small portion of the show itself, it is super cool to be able to see that as part of the performance, especially when they do those sneak attacks where they'll come up behind the crowd and just pass, because you cannot hear that thing coming at you. You just can't. They're going so fast, they're low. And when like I was saying earlier in the stream, when they do the jet assisted takeoffs, the JATOs, doing that right in front of you, it was so awesome, so cool. So that's a bummer. But this is the second year that I have not seen Fat Albert here at Seafair. So unfortunate, but things happen. Last year we actually had one of the planes drop out during the performance on, I believe it was Saturday. I think it was number 4, actually had to come back during the show for whatever reason. I never found out why, but they had to break off from formation and come back and land. And so yeah, that happened last year. Didn't see anything wrong with the aircraft when they came in, but yeah, that happened.
Boeing Tower, Ameristar 25 on the ILS 32 left.
Oh, it's been there for months. Okay.
Boeing Tower, wind 270 at 5, runway 32 left, clear to land.
32 left, clear to land, Ameristar 25.
32 left, clear to land.
Screamer 25, in the event of a missed approach, expect the published missed.
Roger, we'll expect that, Ameristar 25.
Huh. What is coming in on 32 left? What are they allowing in on 32 left? I do not see anybody on the radar. Well, I hope they're taking care of Fat Albert there. Okay, so we do have a flight coming in. It's a Learjet 60. You can see it here on the flight radar. Coming in for 32 left. I don't know how they're sneaking in a TFR. Maybe they got special clearance. And yeah, they're inbound right now. All the way from Houston. I don't even have a visual. The plane's, oh no, I got a visual on them. Do we want to watch a Learjet? I mean, I don't see the other guys, so yeah, we can catch them. Why not? Why not? I just gotta move around here. I wasn't set up to scan down the runway here. Let's see. They're just slightly... There they are. Oh, and there's there's one of the solos. Okay, well, I guess that's copacetic with ATC. This is a Lear 60. Small little guy. But There they are. I'll swing back around here, so I'm not moving the camera at the moment. Coming back. There we go. Snuck in. There go the reversers. Not exactly what I was planning on showing you guys, but hey, it's aviation activity.
25, turn right Alpha 3, cross runway 32.
Let's go back to Freedom Plane until we find, get some visuals on the Blue Angels. Let's see. I got a glint there, but yeah, you can't see them. They are just not gonna catch them in that configuration, but soon enough. Yeah, so 253 Media, I last year, to my surprise, they were simulcasting the boss calling out the maneuvers on civilian frequencies, which is not something I've heard ever before. They did not do that today. So the controller will broadcast simultaneously on military and civilian frequencies, and then obviously the military jets will respond on the military frequencies. But somehow that happened last year. I hope they do it again this year. They just didn't do it today, at least as far as I can tell. Oh, thanks a lot, Trucker Norm. That is rad. Thanks everybody for stepping up and doing that, getting us to 100 plus likes. That's warms my heart as my face is getting warmed by the sun. So this is the part that drives me crazy. I can hear them, but I cannot see them. And I know they're out there, obviously, but we'll catch them. They've got 10 minutes more, so we probably will hear them call into the tower pretty soon here. We do have quite a few next to the Freedom Plane and all these people hanging out looking to get on it or do something. We do have quite a bit of business jets just kind of all clustered right around the Freedom Plane. So I'm not really sure who these people are. We don't normally have this many aircraft on the ramp, but float planes all over the place in this part of the world. So, yep, there they all are. All right, so see if we can. Okay, so our forklift guys are leaving, thankfully. Yes, thank you. It's always nice to have people appreciating this. It's a labor of love. It's a hobby. As a pilot, it's nice to be able to share my affinity of aviation with people around the world. It's a lot of fun. And we're going to do it again in 2 days. Once you're subscribed, it's always cool to hit that notification bell so that you can know when I'm on, when I'm streaming for other things here in Seattle. Every now and then we'll get the Dreamlifter going into Everett, and if I'm available, I'll go up there. That's where they build the 787, the 777X, and the Dreamlifter brings the parts over from various parts of the world. So I'll try and catch them. any kind of 777X developments besides what we see here at Boeing Field. I try and catch those if I can. The airports are kind of spread around here in the Seattle area, the northernmost being Everett, southernmost being Seattle. We have where I am in Boeing Field, and then quite literally just right over this hill behind these trees is Renton Municipal, and that is where they build the 737. So the 737s will get built there. They will take them up in the air, bring them over here, and then this is the delivery center for the 737 customers. So right before I went live, there was a Viet jet that was doing a test flight that they went up, did whatever they were doing, and then they came back down before the Blue Angels got started. And then the 777X took off. It is now, if I had my, let's see here. We can find where that 777X is. We got it's a flight from Doha. It's coming in. But if you look somewhere over Moses Lake. Yep. No, that's United. There she is. I can pull this up. So this is the aircraft that took off earlier. They just departed, or they were scheduled to leave, but they left about 10 minutes, or they left just a couple of minutes ago. This 777X is scheduled to get in an hour here into Boeing Field. Again, I streamed this takeoff earlier. I'm not going to be staying around for it to come back. I got stuff to do, but we'll catch these on the only reason I'm saying I'm not going to stick around, because often on these test flights, it says that they're going to arrive at a certain time, and then they'll just go do stuff. And whatever their schedule doesn't necessarily reflect when they're actually going to be there or back here. So yeah. So, and let's see, yep. So anyway, that is our other flight that we saw this morning before the Blue Angels got up out of here. Let us see. Tim, we're on the same wavelength, buddy. And there's our solos. There's one, there's two. Kind of doing their thing, whatever that is. I'm not really sure. This lens just doesn't like focusing on specks on the screen. Go figure. Yeah, Tim, I normally would stick around for that, but number one, I'm cooking. I'm already going to look like Red Lobster by the time I get back to the house.
Blue Angel 5 Flight of 2, Boeing Tower, make straight in, runway 14 right. Runway 14 right, clear to land, left brake gear discretion.
Okay, so they're coming in from the south. That right? No, they're coming in from the north. I take that back.
Blue Angel 5 Flight of 2, roger.
So Ryan, I fly with the Civil Air Patrol, so whatever aircraft I have available. So predominantly turbo 182s and turbo 206s. That's kind of my thing. I haven't flown recently, but I've had my license for. Do I date myself on stream? since 1993. So yeah, and I was just got my driver's license to put it in perspective. So I ain't young. I ain't a spring chicken. Yeah, the Tomcats. You know what? 253 Media. Yes, that plane is loud. Oh my God, that plane is. Wow. I don't wear earplugs, and that probably is not the best thing for me. But when I'm out here at the airport, but I just love that kind of rattling of your bones when those things go by. So they're going to be landing on 14, which means they're going to be coming down this way. So we should see them momentarily. Yeah, the 206 is nice. The Turbo 206 is great, especially for mountain flying around here. Getting up over the mountains, it's 206 is, I like it. Oh, so it's okay. ODG King, I see that. E6, oh, the EA6P, wow. See, I have no no concept of the you know how loud the EA6B was because I've never flown. I've never been around it, you know, like during landing. Okay, so here's the Blue Angels. This is number 5 and number 6 coming in. They're solo pilots, just in time. Look at that, man. This is military precision. You got to love it. Let's see. Turn this focus. There we go. I can get in on him. There we go. Much more quiet when they're at idle, huh? I didn't realize that number 5 was a tandem aircraft. Really did not know that. I thought they were all single except for 7. And there's 6.
Have Romeo for landing.
I'm going to full stop.
Juliet Boeing Tower, hold over Blake Island.
Hold over Blake, 17 Charlie Juliet.
Go and catch these guys. Turn off.
Angel 5, flight of 2, taxi to parking via Alpha.
So he's responding right now. We just can't hear it because he's on the military frequency.
Number 17 Charlie Juliet, proceed inbound, enter direction 5 batch on arrival for 32 left.
Batch on arrival for 32 left, proceeding inbound, 17 Charlie Juliet.
As far as 2530 media, yes, I believe they did have some military boats come in. I think they've been here for a week already. To be honest with you, Seafair, for me, this is the only part that I'm really interested in. I know it's lame. I don't watch the hydroplane races. I don't really watch really anything else. And like we, you know, when I actually lived in the Bay Area for a while, and they have Fleet Week down there, and I went and saw the boats that they brought in. You know, I think they brought in like the aircraft carriers. It's been a while since I've been to that, but yeah. Look at this.
Boeing Tower, Cessna 905.
Right in front of the Freedom plane.
is coming up on North Vashon for the Vashon arrival with Romeo.
Turn 957 Zulu Boeing Tower 5 and Vashon arrival traffic at northeast of north tip of Vashon is also inbound of Vashon.
And as predicted, now that the Blue Angels are down, the air traffic is picking up again. There they go. off to parking and have some lunch, and then they're going to be back out for the afternoon practice. And that should be about 3:30 our time local, which is Pacific time. So in about 2.5 hours, they'll be back out. So again, we'll be streaming the Blues on Saturday. The only way we wouldn't is if they cancel the show due to inclement weather. At this point, it looks like the rain won't be happening during the show. It might be happening earlier in the day, which is fine because I'm not starting until 3 o'clock anyway, local time. So make sure that if you're available on Saturday, and again, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, because once we go live, you'll get notified, and we'll be able to watch what we watched today, but even in more glory, because they're going to fly them as all 6 at one time, which will be really cool. And as predicted, here is here's our oops. Let's do this. Here's our BizJet. Where are you at? There they are. So you notice the air traffic control frequencies piped up immediately as soon as those guys landed.
Number 177 Juliet, extend downwind traffic 4 mile final.
Ameristar.
Number 84 traffic 12 o'clock, 2 miles northwest bound 2600.
That looked like a DC-9 to me, which I have not seen in a very long time. And off they go. All right, gang, we're going to wrap it. That's, well, yeah, 717 DC-9, same thing. Thanks a lot, gang. Y'all have a great rest of your Thursday. I'm going to get back home and get geared up and do some tweaks for when we are coming back on Saturday. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Make sure to join us again on Saturday for the Blue Angels and Seafair 2026. Take care, y'all.
Charlie Fox, Charlie Sierra, Papa with the traffic. Helicopter traffic is crossing center line 300 feet now, no factor. Runway 1 forward, left 22 in the ballpark. From Mike, anticipation, crossing winds with 32070, runway 14 right, clear for takeoff, Al-Qaeda departure approved.